Right then peeps, things are afoot, my dear Watsons. Getting on some stuff in the van. Today I'm planning out the positioning of my solar charge controller and B2B battery charger, which is the DCC50s Renogy combined unit. You've got your alternator input there, your solar input there, combined negative there, and that's the output to your battery. It's configurable for different chemistries, which is good because I've just ordered a lithium iron phosphate 280 amp hour battery, which will be going in this space here. Let's see if I can get back a bit. I know space is always tight. It's going in that space down there somewhere. I'm just figuring out where I'm going to lay out all my breakers and the MPPT and the B2B. That box at the top there, that one there, that's a rough representation of the size of a 110 amp hour lead acid battery. Hopefully by tonight I'll get back the exact dimensions of the Life PO4 battery and I can make one up out of cardboard and I can make space for it. That other cardboard box down below there is the 18 litre water storage tank for the Bobil water heater, which I've also ordered and he's on his way, should be here by the end of the month. But I'm thinking of putting that in the outside storage locker where the diesel heater actually is, which is directly below where it is. That way if I get any water leaks it's already outside the van. In a moment I'm going to take that box out, I'm going to go around the outside of the van and try it, see if it fits. If it does, then that's probably where it's going to live, because then the Bobil heater can go literally right next door to the diesel heater itself. And it'll give me more room to put my batteries, although my battery's not going to be much bigger than that. But anyway, I'm going to get on with sitting here scratching my arse and figuring out what goes where, and I'll get back to you in a sec when I've made some of that scratching and decisions. Ta-ra peeps, see you in a bit. Right, things are a bit tight down here. They don't need to be any bigger. The battery that the B2B will charge from is literally the other side of this wall here, so the cable will come up through this wall, come up behind this false wall, come through a hole in the wall at an angle onto this terminal, out of this terminal down here straight to the B2B. Solar cables, the gland is up there in the roof, cables come down the back here through the back of this board, drill a hole through at an angle, cable goes onto there, out of that side of the breaker straight onto the solar. Earth for the solar will come down at the bottom of here, come round, will come up through this slot, round the back of the positive onto there. This is the earth to the body of the vehicle. That can come up, run through and go onto there. The earth to the battery will come off of there, go straight from there to the shunt, from the shunt straight to the battery, which is going to sit in this area here. So does that make any sense peeps, or was I too close and you couldn't see a thing? B2B power in there, out there, to there. Solar live in there, out there, to there. All the earths go to this point here. The earth from here to the battery goes from there to there, out the shunt to the battery. Live goes from there to the battery. The battery's sitting in that square there. Or it can sit down there on the floor. I haven't decided yet, it really doesn't matter, everything's nice and close. I've got minimal cable runs, and although that looks nice and tidy, I guarantee you by the time I put the cables in I'll have managed to make that whole lot look a complete and utter freaking mess, because I tend to do that. I haven't got a smart alternator, so I don't need any extra wires running into this. It's got its own voltage sensing relay, so it will sense the power coming in from the battery. The battery is literally, you can see through there, under that seat. So the charge wire has got to run at least 2 feet to get to that, which means I can cut down on the thickness of the cable. The solar panels are running 5 feet at the most to there. The earth is up there in the roof, bolted up there, and that will run to there, and also the solar negative will run to there, and then the negative, very short run to the shunt, from shunt to battery. So I've put the solar charge controller, see it's got these vents at the back, it likes to have a bit of through breeze, so I've put it above this cover here. Outside there is the 240 volt shore power connection, and I figured there's no insulation out here, or very little, so the air would flow up behind the back of this, out the top. Whatever work surface I have at the top here, I may decide to vent it just to let the air out. We'll see how hot this runs. It's only, I think it's, when the engine's running, it's 25 amps off the engine, 25 off of solar. If you switch the solar off, you can get about 45 out of the B2B, and if the B2B is not running, the maximum solar you can get, I assume it's going to be 45 again, I don't know. Either way, I've only got 20 amps up on the roof, so I'm not going to be pushing this really hard. I can go up to 30 amps on the roof because this will handle 30 amps or 600 watts of solar. This will handle. I've got 400 watts up on the roof. I could go up to 600 watts at max. That's going to be at max. In this country, it's probably going to be 4 amps a panel. In this country, you're not going to see maximum solar. If you do, it'll be for like 1 or 2 days of the year. But we'll see. I've got the screen for the shunt up there, nice and easy to see when I'm standing up. I haven't got to bend over to go and look at stuff. All my electrical stuff's going to be in this corner, and if the water tank doesn't fit outside for the bowl heater, my backup plan is to fit it in this totally disused space in the cupboard under there. I don't mind cutting this out, putting the water, feeding the water tank in, using up this cupboard for the water tank. That way I can keep an eye on it and see if it's full up. Only downside is the inlet for the heaters in that cupboard, but we'll see when the bowl turns up, and I've got the proper size tank here. We'll see. Maybe the tank will go there underneath the battery, and all I've got to do is drill a drainage hole down in the locker below. Maybe we'll go in the locker below. We'll see. I don't know till it turns up and I've got it in my hands. I'm no good at planning stuff unless I've actually got the physical item in my hands, and then I'm okay. But I'm no good at drawing stuff out, taking stuff from 2D to 3D is no good. This lot's been sitting in my room for a year, waiting for me to get around to doing this. And now things are getting close, although the solar isn't. There is solar up on the roof, but it's only 60 watts at the moment. If I want to put more up there, I will. Maybe I'll get the roof rack finished this year, hopefully, and get the solar up. I want to get the roof rack finished this year and get the solar up. It's just a case of buying in the 2020 aluminium profile and building the thing. It's difficult to do by yourself, especially when you've got a slip disc. Anyway, peeps, that is the start of the solar and B2B system. When the battery gets here, which I'm hopefully picking it up next weekend. I'm going to Oxford to pick it up, I hope. Maybe the week after. I'll see you then.